sometimes when we experience relationship difficulties, we can also experience a lot of disappointment, a lot of expectations that aren't met, a lot of times where we just feel let down, where we feel disappointed in the situation, disappointed in the other person. Why can't they be nicer? Why can't they be like this? We've talked about wishing. Disappointment is in that same sphere. It's a sense of, oh, it's just so disappointing. It's just such a shame. Why can't it be different? I feel so disappointed that they let me down again. And that sort of heavy feeling of when we have an expectation of somebody else and they don't meet it, and we feel that it's somehow a reflection on us. And it's really important to remember that when someone disappoints us over and over again, really it's all about them. It's about their capacity or their incapacity, their willingness or their lack of willingness. And they are not in a healthy place to be what we need them to be. And so we have to let go of those expectations. And that can be really difficult because sometimes in a relationship, the very bare minimum of compatibility or friendship can be missing at times when someone is really struggling, when there are real difficulties. So I would invite you, as strange as it sounds, to become friends with disappointment. We can find disappointment so catastrophic that it just sends us into a spiral. But if we understand that disappointment isn't a reflection on us, and if we understand that sometimes when we're in relationship difficulties, there will be disappointment and it will be repeated, sometimes simply recognizing that that is a pattern and it is part of the relationship difficulties can help. So the buzz for this, believe it or not, is it's not a surprise, it's just disappointing. So what I mean by that is we can be taken aback when disappointing things happen over and over and over again. And we can go, well, why? Why is it why can't you be something else? Why do you have to keep doing blah blah blah? So what I'm saying is by acknowledging it's not a surprise, it's just disappointing, we can sit more comfortably with the disappointment. I think we kind of oftentimes want to dance away from disappointment. We don't want to feel it because it's not a nice feeling to feel, but I'm encouraging you to befriend disappointment in as much that you can just find that peace of mind of it's not a surprise, it's just disappointing. When somebody keeps doing something and we keep getting an emotional response to it, what we're trying to do is keep coming back to a place of neutrality. So if we can remind ourselves that it's not a surprise, if I'd thought about it, I could have probably guessed that this is what could possibly have happened because I've got evidence that it's happened in the past. And this set of circumstances usually warrant this kind of behavior, which I find disappointing. So if we take away the surprise element and sit more with the fact that it is what it is. It's not a surprise, it's just disappointing. And then we can see the pattern that at certain situations this individual will behave in certain ways. It's disappointing. I feel disappointed by it. I'm not surprised, I'm just disappointed. So if you're not surprised, then you haven't got to ask those questions of why. Well, you know why, because it's what they always do. So sitting with the disappointment enables you to acknowledge, yeah, I feel disappointed. And actually, what's going on with them that they come to this place where they behave like that? Oh, okay, but they're probably struggling with something. It's far less confrontational if we just accept, okay, it's not a surprise. I just feel disappointed. So in your workbook, I just invite you to jot down some examples of when you feel disappointed. Think of some examples where you've been disappointed and practice the buzz. Well, that wasn't a surprise, it was just disappointing. And feel how kind of neutral that is. Feel how that kind of brings you back into it is what, yeah, it's not a surprise, it's just disappointing. And it will help to ease the repetition of things, because things happen over and over again in relationships. There are patterns that keep happening, and once we become familiar with the patterns, we can be less surprised, less reactive to it. We can come back into a place of neutrality, because it's not a surprise, it's just disappointing. You've got this. Sending you lots of love.